Joining us now is Belkis Villa, Senior Crisis and Conflict Researcher at Human Rights Watch. Ms. Villa, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for bearing witness by bringing us these accounts. They are devastating. I'm trying to get a sense from these people who you've talked to who are out of Mariupol what life must be like for those who are inside and for whom we cannot bear witness right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the people we spoke to are the lucky few. They're people who had personal vehicles and were able to actually make it out of the city. Humanitarian corridors have broken down time and again. And so you haven't seen an organized full-scale evacuation that's allowed the majority of the population out. Everyone we spoke to had been sheltering in basements with dozens of other people who stayed behind because they didn't have cars and they didn't have a way out. And as you said, you know, they described to us flushing out their heating systems to get access to water, you know, going to springs, melting snow. And the people we spoke to all said that food stocks were really dwindling when they left other people behind in the basements they had been sheltering in.
You wonder when this is going to end, and you hope it's going to be better. But in Mariupol, we have a situation in which there's not the availability of water, and it is winter, and people don't have heating. They don't have power. We've met people who say they can't be in touch with their relatives who are back in Mariupol because there's no cell service. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't if you're in Mariupol.
Absolutely. And I think the point that you make about those left behind and how they're affected particularly by the lack of electricity is significant. For those people that we interviewed, most of them, before they made it out, spent 2 weeks hiding in basements and sheltering from this ongoing shelling all around them, just hoping that they wouldn't be injured and they, you know, eventually would be able to make it out. The most haunting stories that I heard were actually from older people and people with disabilities. For these people, they couldn't make it down to the basement. So they were in their apartment buildings. I spoke to a man in his 80s who was on his sixth floor apartment, another couple who were in a third floor apartment. And for them, there was no way down. And they described to me how they essentially spent those 2 weeks sitting on their couch in a room with blown out windows, so nothing blocking the cold outside. As you said, it was below 0 degrees Celsius, and they were sitting there freezing, and they were just watching the bombs and the explosions going off outside of their windows, absolutely terrified that any moment would be their last.